Hello, welcome to Procurement Brief 101 Low Bid. This Procurement Brief 101 Low Bid is presented as a matter of courtesy for any prospective bidders. The department assumes no responsibility as a result of a bidder's reliance on this presentation. Nothing in this presentation shall affect the requirements included in a project's bidding documents. All bidders must thoroughly review the bidding documents prior to submitting a bid. Today, I will be providing background information on who the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of General Services Capital Programs is, what we do, and how we procure construction contracts utilizing the competitive sealed bidding method, also known as low bid. In addition, I will be explaining how contractors that are interested in doing business with the Commonwealth can access various resources for finding work and how to submit electronic bids. I will also be offering some bidding tips and describing our bidding process. The Department of General Services Capital Programs manages projects ranging in size and value from less than $1 million to over $20 million. Our construction projects can be renovations, demolitions, new construction, or a combination of all. The duration of these projects can be 6 months or many years. Projects can involve a single building or multiple buildings on a campus. The range varies greatly depending on the needs of the agencies or institutions. Capital Programs bids projects for agencies throughout the Commonwealth wherein contractors will be working in various environments such as state-owned universities, correctional facilities, state police headquarters, veterans hospitals and readiness centers, historical buildings and museums, roadside rest areas, office buildings, visitor centers at state parks, and the occasional dam, spillway, or fish passageway. One might wonder why Capital Programs procures vendors and contractors in the manner that we do. Under the Procurement Code, DGS is given the authority to procure goods and services. Chapter 5 of the Procurement Code specifies the methods for procuring construction. The default method is competitive sealed bidding, also known as low bid. Later in this presentation, we will provide an overview of the low bid process. On the next several slides, I'm going to provide resources for how contractors and subcontractors can find our projects that are currently advertised to bid, those that are forthcoming, and the potential bidders list, pre-bid sign-in sheets, and bid tabs for projects that have been bid. Pennsylvania eMarketplace is where invitations for bids and requests for proposals for DGS capital projects currently bidding are advertised. Vendors and contractors can register for e-alerts in eMarketplace. The Notice of Forthcoming Construction Procurements is a link to a list of projects anticipated to bid in the next 6 months, found on the DGS website under the Bidding Opportunities drop-down. Construction projects currently bidding are listed under the drop-down labeled Current Projects Bidding on the DGS website. Specific project information on these projects is provided through the advertisements on the eMarketplace website. The eMarketplace website at www.emarketplace.state.pa.us is where one can search for active solicitations. In order to find low bid projects, you must first click on Solicitations on the home page, then select the IFB Low Bid from the Solicitation Type drop-down menu. Next, select the PW Construction button for the advertisement type. Lastly, make sure the View Current Records button is selected and hit Search. Selecting Search will filter IFB low bid projects. Please note that not all projects on the list are DGS projects. Other entities, such as state-related universities and the state system of higher education, utilize the site for advertising. Therefore, in the solicitation number, look for DGS in the project number. If you want to bid on a DGS project or look for more information on a DGS project, you can click on the solicitation number. The number will take you to the project advertisement, which will provide you with information on the estimated cost range for the project, SDB and VBE goals, a link to register for a vendor number, and link to register to download bidding documents through Trimble Unity Construct, formerly eBuilder. In order to get e-alerts, you can go to the e-marketplace site and select Supplier Service Center, which will take you to the DGS website. Or you can go directly to the DGS website, Supplier Search Center, and review the e-alert guide and register. The new Supplier Registration Guide, accessed from the DGS Supplier Service Center website, provides information on registration and updating your account. The e-Alerts Guide provides information on how to sign up for notifications of upcoming solicitations. Subcontractors can also reference information on the DGS website. On the DGS website, under the Current Projects Bidding drop-down menu, within the Submit Bids and Proposals for Commonwealth Project site, subcontractors can view a list of potential bidders for each project that is bidding by clicking on the Current Advertised Project Potential Bidder list. This list is updated every Monday. Subcontractors can also review bid tabulation sheets for all recently bid projects to determine who the low or apparent low bidders were. They can also find out which contractors attended pre-bid conferences by selecting the sign-in sheet links under the projects listed under the Current Project Bidding drop-down. Finally, within the same site, but under the Awarded Bids drop-down link, subcontractors can find information on who was actually awarded the contract and the dollar value awarded. Now that you know where to find projects and bidding resources, let's take a look at how to submit a bid electronically. Bids are submitted electronically in an electronic construction management system called Trimble Unity Construct, TUC, formerly known as eBuilder. A link to register with TUC is provided in each capital project's e-marketplace advertisement. Prior to bidding, all bidders should be registered in the PA Supplier portal and have a current active vendor number. A link to register as a PA vendor in the PA Supplier portal is also provided in each capital project's e-marketplace advertisement. No vendor may be awarded a contract without a vendor number. On the e-marketplace solicitation website, Click on the solicitation number for the project that you are interested in bidding on. Select the link for the bid package you are interested in bidding on. By selecting the appropriate discipline, your bid and uploaded documents will be filed correctly and will cause less confusion on bid opening day when the public is watching the live bid opening. After selecting the discipline you are interested in bidding on, you are directed to the TUC login screen for the bid portal. If you are a first-time user of the bidding portal, you will need to register. After logging in, you will be connected to the project's electronic bidding module. Within this site, there are several tabs. The Package Invitation tab provides basic project information, a link to bidding documents, which can be downloaded, and a link to addenda. It is imperative that all addenda be reviewed, as changes to the scope of work and clarifications would be addressed in the addenda. All questions regarding the bidding documents must be submitted through the question and answer board and can be viewed by all contractors. Please note, all questions related to the proposed work or proposed contract documents must be submitted no later than close of business 10 days prior to the bid opening date. Questions submitted outside of TUC will not be considered for response. Technical questions will be answered only by addendum and posted in TUC. Please note, all registered potential bidders for a project will be notified via email as addenda are issued and added to the bid package. If an addendum is issued after the bidder submitted its bid, the bidder will need to resubmit its bid through TUC prior to the bid opening date and time. All addenda become a part of the contract documents, and all bidders on any portion of the contract for the project are bound by all addenda issued on the project. The bidder will be required to acknowledge all addenda prior to submitting a bid. When ready to bid, complete the response form, including the bid form, response documents, and additional information. Response documents are the SDB VBE participation documents that you are including in accordance to the parameters set forth by the Bureau of Diversity, Inclusion, and Small Business Opportunities. Additional information could be a unit price, schedule form, or anything else required by the bidding documents. Also, I cannot stress enough that each base bid is its own individual entity and stands on its own. Therefore, separate responsiveness documents and additional information must be submitted for each base bid. Once you completed the bid form and uploaded any required documents, you will select Submit. A summary of bid amounts will appear, and you will be asked to confirm those prices by entering your password and again selecting Submit Bid. If the amounts are incorrect, you must cancel the bid and begin again. Once you submit your bid, you will receive an email stating your bid was received. Bid recall to change your bid price is possible until bid due date time. However, you must have your bid submitted before the bid due date deadline. If a new addendum is added after a bid has been submitted, all bids already submitted are recalled and new bids must be submitted. Now I am going to delve into the information regarding our bidding process and explain how an award is made to the lowest responsible bidder. Bids are typically advertised on eMarketplace for 4 to 5 weeks. However, they can be extended and advertised longer if there are circumstances that warrant a longer advertisement period. Bids are publicly opened electronically on the date and time advertised. The public is welcome to watch via a Teams meeting. That link is provided in the eMarketplace advertisement. Unofficial bid tabs are posted on the DGS website, usually within 24 hours. Upon receipt of bids, a responsiveness review is completed. Bids are reviewed to make sure that no conditions or alterations have been made to the bidding documents and that all of the base bid prices requested have been submitted. Bids are also reviewed to make sure that they are compliant with the SDB VBE responsiveness goals if they have been established. To be responsive to SDB and VBE goals, participation submittals must be provided for each base bid and include the participation forms and either the utilization schedules, good faith effort documentation to support waiver requests, or both. Any bid determined to be non-responsive is rejected. Reasons for rejection could include, but is not limited to, incomplete SDB VBE participation packets, or if additive base bids are submitted with only the additive dollar amount in lieu of the comprehensive base bid dollar amount. Bidders may request to withdraw their bids for clerical errors up to 3 days after the bid opening. The bid withdrawal process is found in Trimble. An official bid tab is posted on the DGS website once the responsiveness review is complete. The official bid tab indicates those that were non-responsive and rejected. Non-responsive letters are emailed to bidders explaining the reasons for non-responsiveness and rejection of bid or bids. Award is made to the lowest responsible bidder. If a protest is submitted, procurement is stayed until the protest is resolved. CRP, Contractor Responsiveness Program, checks are completed prior to execution of a contract. Prior to award, the lowest responsible bidders must complete the E-Verify form and the Worker Protection and Investment Certification form. Contractors are issued contracts. They have 10 days to sign and return, along with certificates of insurance and performance and payment bonds. Terms of the contracts cannot be changed. Signed contracts are reviewed and signed by the Secretary or Deputy Secretary of DGS. The Comptroller signs and releases the funding. Office of General Counsel and Attorney General sign the documents. Once contracts are signed by all parties, they are considered fully executed. Fully executed contracts then move the entire project to the next stage, which is the construction phase. As previously mentioned, I promised to give you some bidding tips. I hope I have been doing that as we have progressed through the slides. However, I do have a few more tips to share with you. All base bids are considered separate and distinct bids. Multiple base bid prices submitted shall include the price to perform all work associated with that base bid, not just the additive amount. For example, if the cost of work for base bid 1 is $1 million and the cost for additional work outlined for base bid 2 is an additional $500,000, the cost for base bid 2 is $1,500,000. The proper bid submission for base bid 2 would be $1,500,000. If $500,000, the additive amount, is submitted for base bid 2, the bid would be rejected as non-responsive. If multiple base bids are left blank, or if a $0 is present, the department will interpret this to mean that the bidder did not submit a bid on that particular base bid and will deem that base bid non-responsive. However, this will not invalidate any other base bid that provides a cost to complete all of the work. Regarding completing the Small Diverse Business SDB participation and Veteran Business Enterprise VBE participation forms, I cannot express enough how important it is to attend the BDSBO pre-bid presentation and read the SDB1 and VBE1 instructions for completing the participation submittals and utilization schedules. In addition, if the bid contains multiple base bids, a bidder must complete and submit a separate SDB VBE participation submittal, SDB2 VBE2 and accompanying required documentation for each base bid for which it is submitting a bid. If SDB VBE paperwork is not submitted for each base bid, your bid will be rejected as non-responsive for each base bid that does not have a separate SDB VBE participation submittal. The submittal and accompanying required documentation must be labeled to identify the corresponding base bid number as referenced in this slide circled in red. It is imperative that a box is checked as indicated on the SDB2 and VBE2 participation submittal forms. Failure to check one and only one box is a fatal error and will result in responding base bid being rejected as non-responsive. Bidders can access the directory of DGS verified SDB VBE firms from the DGS Supplier Search directory at www.dgs.internet.state.pa.us/supplier search. Please see the slide for website information. Remember, when looking for DGS verified SDB VBE firms, be sure not to include firms that have only SB small business status. Also, you want to make sure the certification dates are within the range of the bid opening date. You don't want a sub or supplier's certification to expire before bids are opened. If their certification is expired, they don't count towards the goal. New contractors should familiarize themselves with DGS bidding requirements and documents. These documents can be found on the DGS website under Construction Documents. Please see the slide for further website information. These are various requirements that are followed by the department and contractors for all construction projects throughout the duration of the project. If you are awarded a contract, a performance and payment bond will be required. This bond is required for the entire project and contract amount. More information can be found on the DGS website in our standard construction contract and contract bond contract document. Additionally, pursuant to Executive Order 2021-06, Worker Protection and Investment, October 21, 2021, the Commonwealth is responsible for ensuring that every worker in Pennsylvania has a safe and healthy work environment and the protections afforded them through labor laws. Contractors of the Commonwealth must certify that they are in compliance with all applicable Pennsylvania state labor and workforce safety laws. There is generally a pre-bid meeting for every DGS project. I strongly encourage all contractors to attend pre-bid meetings in order to familiarize themselves with DGS policies and procedures and to learn about the project. However, if you still have bidding questions that are specific to a bid, use the question and answer board in Trimble Unity Construct to submit a question to the bidding contact. If you have questions regarding the Supplier Service Center, there is a 1-800 and a resource account available for use. Questions regarding small diverse business and veteran business enterprise, there is also a phone number and resource account available. If you have questions regarding Trimble Unity Construct bidding portal, there is a 1-800 number and an email address to utilize. General questions regarding capital project bidding opportunities can be directed to Susan Stanisic, and her number and email is referenced on the slide. This concludes our presentation of Procurement Brief 101, Low Bid. I hope you found this information useful, and the Commonwealth thanks you for your interest and hopes you will consider participating in future Commonwealth procurements. As always, we are here to help you in any way possible. Thank you.